Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Fans, Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you this edition of Coaches Weekly. And once again, I'm joined by head coach of CUC Women's Soccer, Coach Garza. Welcome back to the show. Excited to talk to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Coach, since last time we talked, you guys have played in 2 games, and first was a 1-0 loss against St. Norbert on Sunday here, or for St. Norbert scoring a very, very late goal to be able to pull ahead in that one. And we kind of talked about it last week, just this team being able to get over that last-minute hump, 0-0 late game, being able to find that late goal. So we talked about it last week, but I kind of want to keep talking about it this week. But going forward, we only have 6 games left in the season. It's kind of hard to believe. But what changes does this team need to make to be able to find those, last-minute stretches of play, to be able to pull even or take the lead if they need to in a late-game situation?
Yeah, I mean, specifically with the St. Norbert's game, I believe we just need to capitalize on the opportunities that we did have.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in a tight game like that, I think we controlled the game. We had good opportunities, and we didn't finish them.
Right.
Offsides, calls, shots not on target. And then when a team gets an opportunity like a corner kick late in the game, and we lose a mark, or it's a good delivery,
mm-hmm.
it comes down to chance. So It was unfortunate that we lost it the way we did. Again, I felt we were the better team, but I think we just continue to doing what we have been doing, because eventually it's going to bounce in our favor, and
right.
We're going to start to see the results that we want, which are the wins. But I mean, I think we're showing up and playing in those games, so that's
right.
where I'm content with the performance.
Right. And then this past Wednesday, you guys hosted Marion. It was a 2-1 win for the Sabres. The Cougars getting the goal out of Hannah Bowers, who we can talk about in a minute. But just, we've kind of noticed that you've been experimenting with your starting lineup a little bit. You're willing to put out different names there every single game. So can you just kind of talk about that? Is that kind of a scheme-to-scheme fit? Is it just seeing what different players got? But, I mean, you see a lot of coaches, they find their starting lineup, they stick with it throughout the season, but you seem willing to be able to experiment a little, throw some different names in there.
Yeah, I think that's just because of the depth that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone that starts, has been doing well. Most of my rotations are situational. Maybe it's tactics due to the opponent, and maybe just giving someone some fresh legs because they have been playing, a lot of minutes.
Right.
But overall, I see that as one of our strengths, so I want us to continue to utilize that a little bit more, because, as season goes on, I gain trust and confidence in more players, and the best way to share that or show that is by giving them opportunities on the field.
Right. And then I mentioned Hannah Bauer scoring the goal in that Marion game. It was her first goal of the season, and just because of the nature of her playing a lot of defense, she doesn't get, some of the stats and recognition that other players might get. But as a senior player in this roster, she's kind of one of the bedrocks you seem to build around, just in terms of her playing a lot of minutes, just her leadership and all that. So can you maybe talk about Hannah Bowers a little bit, and her getting rewarded with that first goal of the year on Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, Hannah has been playing great all season. Defenders, naturally, even if you look at our record and, goals against, you would think our defense is not doing well, which in all honesty, I think our defense is one of our strongest lines on the field.
Right.
And Hannah is one that, has been starting since the beginning of season, and, she's very consistent. I know what I'm going to get out of her, and she's taken initiative on herself to using those offensive opportunities to impact the game. And
Right.
she's had, she's won a lot of headers that haven't gone in. And, today that came off of a Denise, flick on alley, which I believe she was fouled in that play. But because Hannah finished it, I don't think it was given. But, that's just commitment and following through, which,
Right.
Again, Hannah has showed that all year, so I'm not surprised that she got the goal.
Definitely. And you mentioned Denise Carr, and she's a freshman who I think has been impressing a lot of people just due to her natural speed. She's always one of the quickest players out there. She's also a very strong player, wins a lot of physical battles, and you seem to be going to her a lot more as the season goes on. Can you just kind of talk about Denise's impact, especially as a freshman, her first year in collegiate soccer, just what she's meant to this team?
Yeah, Denise has a high ceiling this year alone. The select minutes that she's received due to injury, she's nursing an injury. Has every time she goes in, she creates an opportunity.
Right.
Which long term wise, the more minutes she's on, the likely that she'll create more opportunities. But yeah, I mean, she's someone that I see has a bright future. Is already making a big impact with us right now. Right now, it's just helping her, get acclimated to the level, gaining her confidence, and then, having her finish those opportunities in front of goal.
Right. All right, and then the season continues this Saturday. You guys travel to the Milwaukee School of Engineering for an away match, and we're kind of hitting the home stretch of the season, almost 6 games left, as I mentioned. So as a team who needing to pick up some wins if you want to get in that playoff picture, what needs to happen right now with this team in practice and games, whatever it may be, to be able to kind of turn that switch on and start getting those much needed wins so you can be looking at the playoff picture when the season ends? Just what needs to change? What improvements do you need to see in order for this team to finish the year out strong?
Yeah, I mean, since the Wisconsin-Luther, although we lost that game, I think our performances, the games after that, we've really been showing up. So I think the switch has been switched on, so we're playing our best soccer at the best time. The goal is for starting this weekend is to leave an away venue with points, whether it's a tie or finding a way to win. So what I've been telling the teams, like, we're going to these places every game is like we're here to win. Like there's so they believe in that. I'm confident in my team that they can show up, and the goal is to just give our best efforts and give ourselves an opportunity to win.
Definitely. Well, the Cougars, their season continues, as I said, this Saturday at MSOE. That is a 1 p.m. start time. Coverage can be found at our website, cucougars.com. Coach Garza, thanks again for joining me today, and good luck in the next couple matches. Excited to talk to you same time next week. But until then, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Good afternoon, Cougar fans, and welcome to Concordia Stadium for today's conference matchup between the Eagles of Benedictine University and the Cougars of Concordia University Chicago. I'm Parker Kelly with the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you today's action here in River Forest. Real quick, we'll go over the starting lineups. Here are the starting lineups first for the visiting Benedictine University Eagles. And the Eagles are coached in her fourth season by Katie McHugh, who comes into today with a 14-34 overall record, a 7-9-3 record in the conference. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Cougars. The Cougars are coached in his second season by Eddie Garza, who has an overall record of 5-18-6. All five of those wins coming in conference play, a 5-13-3 NAC record. Both teams coming off of a loss this past weekend. The Eagles were at Wisconsin Lutheran College on Saturday. They fell 4-0 in that matchup. And for the Cougars, who are currently on a 6-game losing streak, they most recently lost at MSOE this past Saturday by a score of 2-0. So both teams looking to get a rebound victory here today. Cougars looking to snap that 6-game losing streak, and it would be a big one this afternoon. The Eagles currently sitting at 8th in the conference. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Cougars sitting at 12. And it's the final month of regular season play, as we've talked about in previous broadcasts, and it's go time. Conference play is in full swing, so any win that you're able to get in the month of October will be a big one. The Eagles come out. They will get set for the opening kickoff in their all-black away uniforms with white numbering and lettering. The Cougars in their home, all whites with maroon numbering and lettering as well. Beautiful day here in River Forest. The sun is out, not a cloud in the sky. About mid-60s, a great day for some soccer, and we are underway as the Eagles conduct the opening kickoff. The Eagles trying to move quickly. They're a little bit of a more fast-paced offense compared to the Cougars as they look to get going in a hurry. The goalie for the Cougars in her sophomore season, number 0, Alani Burnell. She's had quite the season as she gets her first touch of the afternoon as the Cougars will get set for their first look on offense. Burnell will send it, touched by Allie Brown in her senior season here in River Forest, a 3-year captain. She is definitely the heartbeat of this very experienced veteran-led Cougar team. The Eagles are going to take it right back as offense has been a struggle for the Cougars coming into today. They rank 14th in the conference in goals scored with a total of 8 in the 13 games that they have played. They also rank 13th in the NAC in total shots with 103. As we get some whistles blown, looks like the Eagles are going to get a throw in right here as they will go back on offense. We'll get a free kick. That'll be conducted by number 17, Jocelyn Ybarra. Cougars going to get a stop and go back on. They're looking to go back on offense, but the Eagles take it right back. Now working with it on the near sideline, number 31, Kaya Dreger. The Eagles in that final third. Good clear out right there from junior number 17, Melika Kenworthy. We'll get a throw in from the Eagles over on the near corner of the pitch. Another touch by Kenworthy. That'll also go out of bounds, so Eagles will remain on offense. Cougars needing to step up in a big way on defense. Looks like we'll get the first corner kick of the afternoon from the Eagles, and once again, number 17, Jocelyn Ybarra, will conduct the corner kick for Benedictine. hand in the air. The kick is up. An opportunity for the Eagles. Nice defense from the Cougars. Eagles trying to get the ball right back as they're working with it in the midfield. Header from Hannah Bowers, the senior out of Helena, Montana, who got her first goal of the season not too long ago as the Cougars hosted Marian University last Wednesday. The Cougars dropped that match 2-1 in what was a thriller, but Cougars haven't been able to find a victory since September 16th of this season, in which they beat Lakeland 4-0. So looking to get a monumental win here this afternoon. Eagles working with it on the far sideline. Cougar defense trying to remain strong. Allie Brown trying to get a foot on it. That ball is just going to roll out of bounds way on the right side of the goal. Get another touch from Alani Burnell as she's setting up for the goal kick. Burnell sends that one looking for Allie Brown, the closest Cougar in the vicinity. However, Luciana Moran-Cruz going to get the touch. Now Juliana Paulson racing down far sideline. Looks like she's going to get tripped. I believe that was number 30, Nikki Guzman. Paulson, one of the faster players on this Cougars team, another senior out of Villa Park, Illinois. This Cougars team is just loaded with seniors. Very experienced roster. And now Paulson is going to return the favor as she trips up a Benedictine defender. So Eagles going to get a throw in. That one was intended for Kaya Drager. Eagles working with it in that final third. They've already been over on this side of the pitch a couple times this afternoon. Cougars going to get a big stop. As now Paulson trying to get it, not able to get to it in time as it rolls over to the Eagles side of the bench. Now the Eagles going to go right back on offense. Last touched by number 5, Megan Wilkinson McQuaid. Before it goes out of bounds, another senior out of Georgetown, Kentucky. So the Eagles getting another crack on offense, a free kick. Now Grace Gladowski trying to corral it. She's not able to. She has it taken away from her. And now going down the sideline is Kiara McPherson. First time we've called her name today. And now Brown is going to send that one. That's deflected off of an Eagle. So now the Cougars. Lucia Falone sends it back to Bowers. That's deflected off of the back of McPherson. Now trying to move quickly That one is just cleared out by number 0, Catherine Prochnow, the goalie for the Eagles, the junior out of Tinley Park, Illinois. She's had quite the impressive season. Neither goalie having to do a whole lot of work as that pass intended for Denise Carr, but out of bounds. Now Kenworthy trying to track it down. She's able to, looking for an outlet. She has it taken away by number 4, Kaylin Knudsen. Now it's going to go out of bounds. Eagles will set up for another corner kick, their second one of the afternoon. And once again, it's Ybarra. So another opportunity for the Eagles. Will the Cougars defense hold strong once again? Wilkinson McQuaid sends that one up in the air. As the Cougars trying to get it clear out. Another nice defensive stand. So the answer to that question is yes, they do. 2 great defensive stops about 10 minutes into this match. So Alani Burnell will get things going for the Cougars offensively. She tries to get that one in for Brown. Brown sends that over by the athletic trainers for CUC. Out of bounds on the far side. So the Cougars now trying to convert this into an opportunity. On-field official raises the flag in the air, signaling for the Eagles to go back on offense. The Cougars trying to play tough defense in the midfield. Wilkinson McQuaid, the kick. She's able to get it to Moran Cruz. But Prochnow is going to get the stop and the goal kick. She boots that one high up into the air, looking for Drager. Denise Carr trips her up. Throw in from the Eagles. Brown trying to get that one to her teammate, number 19, Moran Cruz. Cougars trying to get a takeaway as Fernandez will come over for the throw-in. Valeria Fernandez. Now Wilkinson McQuaid, who's been one of the unsung heroes of the Cougars this season, doesn't necessarily have a lot of stats to show for, but she just kind of makes those effort plays that you love to see if you're Coach Eddie Garza. Now the Eagles with a full head of steam. Racing down the far sideline. Is going to go out of bounds. I believe it was last touched by Ben Yu. So a throw in from the Cougars. That throw is in. It goes off of the chest of Bowers. I believe one of the Eagles got a foot on it as well. So Burnell is going to kick this one away. It's off of her left foot. Into Paulson. Now to Brown, who had a little bit of steam, but it's taken away by the Eagles. Now McPherson gets it to Drager. Eagles trying to move the ball once again. It seems like they've dominated possession here in the early going of the first half. haven't allowed the Cougars to get much going on offense, which has been a struggle for CUC all season long. So a throw in from the Eagles. Off of the foot of Bowers and Kenworthy, but Cougars just going to go right back on offense. So Burnell, the goal kick. The lefty sends it looking for Valeria Fernandez. Now back to Kenworthy, who goes right over the head of Denise Carr. Throw in from Alexa Lara. Once again, Bowers will just send that one onto the track. Throw in from McPherson. That one's intended for, looks like Drager, but Fernandez once again playing some solid defense. Now the third corner kick of the afternoon for Benedictine. So an opportunity. We've seen the Cougars with 2 defensive stops on the first 2 corner kicks from the Eagles. Trying to get a third one, but the header proves to be true, and Benedictine gets on the board first here in River Forest. So third time's a charm for the Eagles on their third corner kick, able to convert. And that's a header from Kaya Drager. They're going to award the assist to Kira McPherson and Jocelyn Ybarra. So the Eagles with an early 1-0 lead over the Cougars. That is Kaya Drager's 4th goal of the season, and it comes at an opportune time for the Eagles. In the first 15 minutes of the half, that is Kiara McPherson's 2nd assist of the season. And Jocelyn Ybarra's 6th assist. Coming into today, Ybarra ranked 9th in the NAC in that category. So some whistles blown. Looks like the Eagles will stay on offense as Alexa Lara going to conduct the free kick for her team. Header from Hannah Bowers, some more whistles blown. The Cougars going to go right back on offense. So Brown going to take a tumble over in the midfield. We've mentioned just how tough of a player she is. Really puts her body on the line in these kind of games. That's just the type of player that she is. Mentioned that she plays like a linebacker, like you would see in football. And now deep kick from Jocelyn Ybarra. The Cougars going to go right back on offense, trying to get the ball down the length of the pitch. A deep kick from Burnell. Wilkinson McQuaid is able to get a foot on it. Lucia Falone trying to get the stop. Not able to stop this Benedictine offense, who ranks 5th in the NAC in goals scored with 28 prior coming into the match today. Now have a total of 29. They also rank 5th in the NAC in shots, total shots with 200. So pretty solid offensive team that the Cougars are facing today. Cougars going to have to rely on that defense to really slow down this Eagles offense. Cougars have been pretty solid on defense thanks to sophomore goalie Alani Burnell. They rank 2nd in the NAC with 122 total saves, which can be a good and bad thing if you're the Cougars. It's a good thing because you've had solid goalie play, but can also be looked at as a bad thing if you're allowing your opponent many opportunities in that final third. We see the Cougars are allowing their opponents 149 total shots within first halves this year. So the Cougars are going to have to limit the Eagles to a number of shots today as that ball rolls out of bounds, and we get a substitution for the Cougars as number 7, Jamie Seibert, makes her first appearance of the afternoon. She's played in all 14 games for the Cougars this year, has even started a plethora of games. Coach Garza really likes to mix up his lineups, as we'll get a corner kick from Megan Wilkinson McQuaid. The Cougars' first corner kick of the afternoon. Will the Cougars be able to convert? See, Seibert comes over and a clear out from the Eagles, but Julissa Diaz also coming in as a sub for the Cougars. First time we've seen her today as well. Julissa Diaz has played in 12 games for the Cougars today. Has only missed 2 games so far this season. Diaz, a junior out of Chicago, Illinois, and Seibert, a senior out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. So 2 more upperclassmen as we'll get another corner kick from the Cougars. Once again conducted by Megan Wilkinson McQuaid, but once again the Eagles are able to get a stop as goalie Catherine Prochnow get the save. Now the Cougars real backed up as Kenworthy that ball's going to roll out of bounds. We'll get a throw in from Diaz. We'll get another substitution, it looks like, as number 9, Pamela Saldivar, will enter the match in place of Megan Wilkinson McQuaid. So, already seen 3 substitutions for the Cougars here in the first half. Cougars have a fair amount of depth, so Coach Garza really likes to rotate his players, kind of give his players that have to play a lot of minutes some rest, get a couple fresh sets of legs in there as Kenworthy knocks over a player. I believe that was Kaya Drager. So now a free kick for the Eagles. I believe that was Ybarra who conducted the free kick, and now Burnell is going to roll it over to Seibert. Who gets it to Bowers. Bowers not able to get it past the Eagles midline. And now Carr trying to track it down. She's not able to get to it before Prochnow was able to come up and just go ahead and clear it out for the Eagles. Now Seibert, she's not able to make much happen on the far sideline. McPherson gets it to Drager. Back to McPherson. Lucia Falone with a good defensive play. Diaz going to clear it out looking for Denise Carr. Now she tries to get it to Seibert, just way out of her reach. So a throw in from Benedictine. Now Bowers tries to get it in for Moran Cruz. Once again, we see that toughness from Allie Brown as she knocks over an Eagle trying to get the ball. Now Cougars trying to make something happen. Moran Cruz has that one poked away. Saldivar sends it back to Bowers, who sends it over to Brown. Brown trying to get it to Seibert, just way out of reach. We've seen the Cougars try to target her a couple of times. We know how fast she is, just way out of reach for her. She's not able to get to it. That one's going to go over towards the Eagles sideline. So a throw in from Benyu. And the save by Burnell as it goes straight into her hands. She'll record her second save and her 25 minutes of action. Trying to get it to Moran Cruz just a little over her head. Now Denise Carr tries to get the header. She's able to play it, get it back to Falone. Once again, looks for Saldivar. Now Fernandez trying to come up and play tight defense. Cougars forcing the Eagles to play outside. Eagles have done a nice job of using every inch of the turf. All the space they've been given. As a clear out from Kenworthy, she sends that over the Cougars bench. Bounces on to the fence. It's outlining the track. So a throw in from Benedictine. And Diaz not able to get to it before it goes out of bounds. So Cougars going to get a throw in. Diaz looks for Brown. That's deflected. Cougars trying to corral it, not able to. So we get another substitution, or a couple substitutions, I should say, for the Cougars. Into the game is number 11, Itzel Calderon. Another senior out of Oak Lawn, Illinois. She will replace Luciana Moran Cruz, and now Isabel Fairless as well will enter the game for Jamie Seibert. So some more substitutions made for the Cougars. Benedictine only made one substitution so far compared to the Cougars 5. So Coach Garza really showing off that depth here this afternoon. Once again, the Eagles are backed up trying to march down the pitch. Cougars just trying to get a stop. This is a team where they get down early. It's hard for them to come back. However, we've seen a couple attempted comebacks from this team. The most recent one being the game in which we saw last Wednesday at home versus Marion. And that 2-1 loss, Cougars really started picking up their offense in that final 15 minutes of play after being down 2-0. But the late comeback ultimately stalled. Cougars don't want to find themselves necessarily in that same situation again. They don't want to find themselves down 2-0. They look to get a goal upcoming to potentially tie this thing up here in the first half. The Cougars in that final third get a throw in from Jalissa Diaz looking for Calderon. That one's just going to roll out of bounds. We have a Cougar down. So it looks like it's Calderon. We'll take a quick break in the action as the CUC trainers come over to check her out. You're listening to the Cougar Sports Network.
More about Concordia Chicago, head to cuchicago.edu for more information on our university.
We appreciate you tuning in to today's game and hope to see you at CUC very soon.
So we're back here in River Forest for the final 15 minutes and 42 seconds of the first half. There was a Cougar down on that last possession. I believe it was Itzel Calderon. She was helped off of the field by the CUC athletic trainers and, it was Isabel Fairless, so she'll be replaced by Marlon Batista. If you're the Cougars, you hope she's all right. But for the Eagles, they'll go right back on offense. Benedictine also making a substitution into the game. Comes Stephanie Mondragon in place for Nikki Guzman. Now that's back to Bowers, who gets it over to Diaz on the far side of the pitch. That one's sent back to Kenworthy, who just boots it looking for Batista. On-field official going to wave that yellow flag, signaling for the Eagles to go back on offense. Getting another touch is Catherine Prochnow. She gets her team set up on offense in position. We'll get a goal kick from her. She hasn't had to do a whole lot of work this afternoon, as the Cougars have yet to attempt a single shot. And on the other side, the Eagles attempted 3, with 3 of them being shots on goal. And, of course, the 1 goal, which gives them the 1-0 lead. That goal came within the first 15 minutes of the first half. Cougars have done a nice job of getting some stops, not allowing the Eagles to get any more shots. We see all 3 of their shots and shots on goal came from the 3 corner kick opportunities. Cougars on the other side have had 2 corner kicks as we get a save from Prochnow. Yeah, the Cougars have only 2 corner kicks this afternoon, so if you're any team, those corner kicks are big opportunities. The CUC just has not been able to convert on those here this afternoon, so get a handball violation against Concordia Chicago. A free kick awarded to the Eagles. A header from Diaz tries to get it to Falone, who is bumped out of the way by Zitali Sanchez. Now we'll get another touch from Prochnow. Again, we mentioned not having to do much so far in this first quarter. That just speaks to the level of defense that Benedictine has been playing with. That goes off the head of Valeria Fernandez. So we'll get a free kick from Kenworthy. She gets the ball set up. Takes a few steps back. Hand in the air. Approaches the ball, kicks it. A header from Benedictine. Not able to see exactly who the player was in that cluster of players from both sides. Bowers able to intercept the pass. Now Falone able to get it to Jalissa Diaz, who trying to escape the Eagles defense. I believe that was Kaylin Knudsen. So, Cougars just trying to get it away from the Eagles. The Eagles have had plenty of opportunities in the midfield and final third. Cougars having to rely heavily on their defense like they have for a large part of the season. That one's just going to be cleared out. So, Alani Burnell going to get another goal kick opportunity for her. Burnell approaches the ball, sends it deep. Try to get it to Allie Brown, who's playing in the midfield for the Cougars. Get another substitution made by Coach Eddie Garza as freshman Addison Alexander, midfielder out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, coming in for the senior Lucia Falone. She is now the 7th player that has come off of the bench for the Cougars. And the guards are really going into that bench as we get some action down on over towards the Benedictine goal as Prochnow takes a tumble as she's tripped up by Denise Carr. Going to see how this one plays out. On-field official talking to Benedictine. Looks like a free kick will be awarded. And Ybarra will send it looking for Knudsen. So a throw in from the the Eagles, ultimately ends in a clear out from the Cougars. So the Eagles racing down that far sideline. She's able to get the edge, but again, that Cougar backline defense proves to be steady as we're now under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. So the Eagles are going to get their 4th corner kick in the first half alone. Been able to convert on one of the corner kicks so far. Will they convert on another? Cougars trying to clear it out. And that shot to the left of the goal, off target. So the Cougars get another pivotal stop. Alani Burnell, the goal kick, once again, looking for Pamela Saldivar. And the Cougars, with the full head of steam, it's Jalissa Diaz. She gets it to Batista. Batista dancing with it. Just travels out of bounds. So a throw in once again from the Eagles. Eagles have not had a whole lot of issues really getting the ball down the field. We've mentioned the 4 corner kick opportunities, 4 shots. 3 shots on goal for the Cougars have yet to attempt a single shot. The highlight of the afternoon has been Alani Burnell in goal, the 2 saves so far in the first half. And now Prochnow going to get another touch. Times she's touched the ball this afternoon been few and far between. She boots that one deep. The Cougars able to corral it. Calderon trying to get it to Alexander. And now Fernandez just has a defender draped all over her. That's Kea Drager. Now throw in from Fernandez. It's handled by Denise Carr, but the Eagles Now Diaz. A little back and forth action between the Cougars and the Eagles here in the midfield. Sent over to Drager on the near side. Drager works back inside, looks for Addie Curtis. Now a free kick be awarded to Benedictine as Jocelyn Ybarra will do the honors again. That one a deep shot right into the hands of Burnell. She kicked that one from the 30-yard line, so about 40 yards of air travel. And some whistles blown. Can't tell exactly if the Eagles might have stepped out of bounds while in possession of the ball. Looks like a corner kick will be awarded to Ybarra. So the 5th corner kick for the Eagles. Cougars defense forces the Eagles back outside. Handling it is Sanchez. Another throw in from Ybarra. Looking for McPherson. Cougars defense has been strong since giving up the lone goal of the afternoon. The shot total for the Eagles now up to 5. 4 shots on goal and only 1 goal allowed by the Cougars. So pretty solid defensive outing here in the first half for the team. Really trying to limit that Eagles shot total. Now the Eagles, McPherson working with it, gets it back inside to Drager. Batista trying to get a takeaway. It's poked away by Calderon. Now McPherson sends it back to Drager, who then looks again for McPherson, as we are now under the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Now, and for the Cougars, first time today, number 28, Madeline Georgopoulos, the junior out of North Riverside, Illinois. She'll replace Denise Carr. Georgopoulos tries to get the ball back for her team, but the Eagles just remain in the driver's seat as far as possession is concerned. 1 minute to go here in the first half. The Eagles in that final third again. Cougars just need a clear out. Can't allow themselves to get in a 2-0 hole. That one sent out. Looking for Loza Medellin. Cougars just trying to get out of their own territory. The Eagles making things difficult. Ten seconds. Time winding down. both sides just going to let it hit 0. And we're heading to halftime. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead over the Cougars. We'll real quick look at the box score. First for both keepers. Catherine Prochnow, 1 save in her 45 minutes of play. And on the other side, Alani Burnell leads with 3 saves, 1 goal allowed in her 45 minutes of play as well. The Cougars only 1 shot came later on in the half, and it was on target for the Eagles. 5 shots, 4 shots on goal. Obviously the lone goal they scored in the first 15 minutes of the half. So a quick look at the box score, but right now we'll head to halftime. We'll be back for more second half action. You're listening to the Cougar Sports Network.
Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Hey, I'm Monica here at Concordia University Chicago, and we're here outside of Concordia Hall. Concordia Hall is the university's newest residence hall, right on the edge of campus, perfect for students who want to explore the nearby downtown of Oak Park and River Forest. The flexible suite-style living in fully furnished bedrooms lets students choose what works best for them. Every floor is complete with a community lounge and full common kitchen, with a kitchenette, microwave, sink, and refrigerator. The first floor offers the Victory Lounge, connecting to 2 additional residence halls, with no shortage of ways to relax. You're also right next to an open, outdoor plaza, better known as Victory Lane.
So now we're here in Concordia Hall's suite-style dorm room, and this is a really nice place to just hang out and chill. And since it's so big, there's plenty of room to spread out and do your homework and just relax. So now making our way into one of the bedrooms, there's plenty of space in this room for you and your roommate. A lot of times students will move the desks so that they've got their separate study space, but my roommate and I, we get along really well, so we can just work together here in the same space. Sometimes I like doing art as well, as you can see by the painting here. It's a 16 by 10 feet space, and most rooms on campus are 10 by 12 feet. So it's really nice to have a little extra space to work with here in Concordia Hall. So this hall is super close to the chapel and the Kennedy Community Center, which has the new Crossroads Dining Hall. So the location is super convenient. And I really love the city scene too. The location here is the closest on campus to the Oak Park River Forest downtown area, which has a ton of great stores and restaurants. Speaking of the city scene, I adore the view from this lounge because you can see the Chicago skyline right there.
Concordia Hall at Concordia University, Chicago.
Hey Cougar fans, thanks for tuning in to today's game. For more information about the women's soccer program, head to CUCougars.com. We hope to see you at our next game.
CUC nursing student and choose to stand tall for healing at a university that places Christ at the center and embraces teaching students to live a life fulfilled by purpose and meaning. Concordia University Chicago's new Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree is an innovative and rigorous 4-year program that will prepare you to rise to the daily challenges of a rewarding nursing career and serve a greater cause. Our newly built modern simulation center features 4 distinct spaces, a skills attainment lab, multi-specialty intensive care spaces, a health assessment learning center, and a simulated home environment. Due to our close proximity to many world-class teaching hospitals, CUC's clinical rotations offer an abundance of diverse and real-world experiences. Learn more about earning your BSN at a Christ-centered university today.
Cougar Nation, we love the support you give us on and off the field. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank you button below.
This helps us continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar soccer moments. Thank you and enjoy the game.
And we're back in River Forest for the beginning of the second half as both teams starting to make their way back out on the field. Concordia is out first. Wow. Benedictine still huddled up on their sideline. Let's go ahead and recap what we saw in the first half. Benedictine dominant as far as offense is concerned with 5 total shots, 4 shots on goal. Very good percentage for them. And the lone goal they scored in the first 15 minutes of the half. They've also had 5 corner kick opportunities for the Cougars. 1 shot on goal, 2 corner kick opportunities. So a little bit lacking on offense. They'll look to get more shots up here in the second half. Defense has been pretty stout for the Cougars as well. Alani Burnell, 3 saves in that first half, 1 goal allowed. She played the entire 45 minutes in that first half. She also getting the start here in the second half. Catherine Prochnow, 1 save, 0 goals allowed. She also played in the entire 45 minutes in that first half, and it looks like she will also get the second half start. So in second halves this year, Cougars have put up 54 shots, which is more total shots than they put up in first halves this year with 49. So Cougars definitely need more shots here in the second half. That is going to be the underlying theme as we are underway. Brown struggles to keep her balance. She's able to stay on her feet. We'll get a throw in from the Cougars, and Grace Gladowski, she'll throw it into Brown. Brown trying to get it to Falone, but ends up going to the foot of Denise Carr. And now a shot from Brown hits the crossbar and deflects. The Cougars remaining in that final third, a header from Wilkinson McQuaid. The Cougars just trying to get some more opportunities. So the Cougars come out of the gates firing, which is what you want to see if you're head coach Eddie Garza. However, that shot from Allie Brown that hit off the crossbar, that does not count as a save for Prochnow, as it is a rule in soccer. If it hits off the crossbar, it does not count as a save. So Prochnow will go ahead and conduct the goal kick. So first time we've seen the Benedictine offense here in the second half. A header from Wilkinson McQuaid is going to go out of bounds. So a throw in from the Eagles. Eagles working down that far sideline. And that is Kaylin Knudsen. She's guarded by Julissa Diaz. Diaz getting the start here in the second half. She did not start in the first half. She came off of the bench in that beginning half. Diaz has played a lot of minutes today, 29 minutes in total. This Cougars team has a lot of depth as a shot from the Eagles just passed on the right side of the goal, so the Cougars catch a break. We'll get a goal kick from Alani Burnell as a yellow card was awarded previously to Julissa Diaz. That's the first yellow card given out this afternoon. That's Diaz's second yellow card this season. Now we'll get a throw in from number 23 in white. That pass is intercepted by the Eagles. And now the Eagles, with an opportunity in the final third, going to have to rely on that backline Cougar defense. Grace Gladowski gets the clear out. Since it was last touched by Gladowski, the Eagles will stay on offense. Wilkinson McQuaid trying to get a foot in on it. That's going to force Burnell to come out of goal. She'll stop the rolling ball. And she'll get a free kick. Looking for Lucia Falone, who's standing in the midfield. Valeria Fernandez able to track it down, so she's working with it on the far side. That pass intended for Allie Brown, who just rams into number 6, Stephanie Mondragon. And Catherine Prochnow will get the stop for the Eagles. She kicks that one away. I believe that was off of the head of Pamela Saldivar. Now Bowers tries to track it down. So we'll get a throw in from Kiara McPherson. McPherson once again will conduct the throw in, as that was intended for McPherson. So we have Kira McPherson and Olivia McPherson, both seniors out of North Aurora, Illinois. And a header from Melika Kenworthy. So that'll result in a throw-in from Nikki Guzman. I called her name a couple of times this afternoon. Cougars trying to get a stop. And they do, as Burnell going to get another touch. Looks like she'll conduct a goal kick right here as the Cougars get set up offensively. Burnell trying to get it into Saldivar, misses the header. And now Diaz will boot that one, looking for Denise Carr, who's back into the game. She went out early in the first half as she was subbed out by Coach Garza. Now back in here in the second half. So a couple whistles blown. We'll get a throw in from Jalissa Diaz. Has to be careful with already the one yellow card. Now that pass way down the pitch, Burnell going to pick it up. Burnell analyzing her options. Kicks it way up into the air, looking for Denise Carr, who's able to stop it. Now Brown. Brown working up against Kira McPherson. Have to differentiate between the two McPhersons. And now Ybarra sets up for the free kick. Header from Gladowski. Kenworthy able to track it down. She tries to get that one to Saldivar. Brown not able to get to the ball before it rolls out of bounds. So a throw in from Mondragon. We'll now get a throw in from Wilkinson McQuaid, who's got a good amount of playing time this afternoon. A little bit over 28 minutes of action for the senior out of Georgetown, Kentucky. Line drive kick deflected off of Kira McPherson. Now get the throw in from Gladowski. Now we'll get another substitution for the Cougars as now freshman number 4, Addison Alexander, will enter back into the match. Saw she was subbed in about midway late through the first half. She's now back in here early in the second. 36 minutes and some change remaining in the final half of regulation. Remember, there is no overtime now in women's soccer or men's soccer. That was a new rule change for collegiate soccer. As that's off of the foot of Gladowski, out of bounds. So we're going to get another corner kick, the 6th corner kick by the Eagles, their first of the second half. And who else other than Jocelyn Ybarra? She's conducted the corner kicks for the Eagles. Nice defense right there from the Cougars as they squander the opportunity for the Eagles. And that's into Brown. Brown tries to get it to her teammate Carr. Carr racing up the near sideline, guarded by Alexa Lara. Carr still working with it, trying to get out of trouble. Back to Carr. Tries to get it to Gladowski, who finds Saldivar. That shot off target, and the save by Prochnow. So the Cougars still working with it. Lucia Falone showing off the dance moves in the midfield. Gets it into Wilkinson McQuaid. Now to Bowers. Brown. Guarded by Mondragon. And now Prochnow knocks over her teammate while she was going for the ball. I believe that was Nikki Guzman, but she's now back up on her feet. Guzman, the junior out of Plainfield, Illinois. A little friendly fire from the Eagles. Time still ticking here in River Forest. Plenty of time for the Cougars to get something going on offense. Cougars shot total now up to 4, 3 of which have been shots on goal. Catherine Prochnow, 2 saves here in the first 12 minutes of the half. She only had 1 save in the first, so Prochnow now having to do a little bit more work as Cougars have been able to generate a couple different looks against that Eagles defense. A throw in from Fernandez is into Falone. Falone then trying to get it up the near sideline to Saldivar, not able to get to it before it's poked away by the Eagles. That's into Wilkinson McQuaid, who will get the header. And now Saldivar. She's tripped up by Olivia McPherson. Saldivar a little slow to get up, but she's back on her feet. So looks like we will get a free kick from Wilkinson McQuaid. McQuaid takes a couple steps back, approaches. The Cougars with an opportunity. Nice save from Prochnow as Carr looks like she got the shot off. Prochnow doing her thing. Coming into today, Prochnow has recorded 67 saves, which ranks 8th in the NAC. She's had one shutout on the season, on the season, which ranks 9th in the NAC. She also ranks 7th in the conference in saves per game with a little under 6. As that ball rolls out of bounds. So we're going to get a corner kick for the Cougars, an opportunity to potentially get one to go through the back of the net and get the Cougars on the board. Again, still plenty of time to work with, but you get a goal now and get your offense going in rhythm, get a little momentum on your side. You'd be surprised how much things can change as we'll get the corner kick from Wilkinson McQuaid. Hand in the air. She approaches. A deep kick looking for Valeria Fernandez. So not necessarily the most accurate kick from Wilkinson McQuaid, but the Cougars still have a little bit of life and believe offsides is going to be called. So just a missed opportunity for the Cougars as we're now under 30 minutes to go here in the final half. So Prochnow with the goal kick. The Cougars able to get the ball right back. Denise Carr able to dribble through the legs of Mondragon, but ball's just going to roll onto the track. Eagles going to go right back on offense. Eagles taking their time. Gets it into Mondragon. Brown going to come up from behind. Able to get it. Kicks it back to Gladowski, but ball just going to roll out of bounds. So Mondragon will get another throw in. Brown playing pretty tight defense on both her and Kira McPherson. Cougars now with the opportunity here in the final third. The throw in from Gladowski into Carr. That's cleared out by Drager. Now Wilkinson McQuaid tries to get that one to Valeria Fernandez, just out of reach and onto the track. We get a throw in from Benedictine. Cougars have had some more opportunities in the second half as the shot total has gone up to 6. That's now tied with the Eagles. But where the Eagles have the Cougars beat is that shot on goal category. Benedictine with 4, CUC with 3. Catherine Prochnow, the goalie for the Eagles, also having to do a little bit more work. 2 saves recorded here in the second half where she only had 1 in the first. She's now at 3 total saves. That is the same as Alani Burnell. The difference is the 1 goal allowed from the sophomore Burnell, which came in the first 15 minutes of the first half. So we're now going to get a free kick from Wilkinson McQuaid. This could be an opportunity for the Cougars to get on the board. Cougars haven't scored a goal since last Wednesday, their loss to Marion. That one's cleared out. Alexander able to get a foot on it. Just going to roll out of bounds. However, I believe it was last touched by the Eagles, so Glodowski, the throw in. So now Kira McPherson throw in just right over the head of Bowers. Now Kenworthy just sends it onto the track out of bounds. Number 13 for Benedictine. McPherson is going to throw it into Olivia McPherson. That one is into Mondragon. Kenworthy just tries to clear that one out. Takes a tough bounce off of Mondragon. Now Glodowski going to throw it into Brown. Brown sends it behind her. That's to Denise Carr. Trying to get to it is Falone. Falone's calling for it, just not able to get the most accurate pass as Mondragon making life difficult for the Cougars. Saldivar gets it to Brown. Goes out of bounds. Cougars going to stay on offense. Glodowski into Carr. Stops it with her right foot. Gets it over to Brown. Tough defense from Kira McPherson. Glodowski. It's cleared out by the Eagles. Over to Wilkinson McQuaid, who's standing back. Deep shot just goes right past the net on that left side. Takes a couple of bounces onto the track. So a goal kick from Catherine Prochnow. Cougars for the first time today have more shots in total than the Eagles with 7 to 6 respectively. And now Olivia McPherson racing down the field is Knudsen. Hands on her head, realizes she might have had a potential opportunity for the Eagles, but once again, that backline defense for the Cougars proves to be very stout. So a goal kick from Alani Burnell. Over to Addison Alexander, not able to corral it. It'll go towards the Eagles bench. And we're going to get a throw in from the Eagles. Couple whistles blown. Cougars going to get the possession. Time winding down here in River Forest. Still plenty of time, so Cougars no need to worry at this stage in the game. However, don't want to wait too long. Wilkinson McQuaid conducts the free kick. And a couple whistles blown in. The Eagles going to go right back on offense. The Cougar fans in the stadium not too happy with that call. So now, Drager, we get the free kick. That's a header from Lucia Falone. Gladowski working with it. Now Kenworthy, she's able to kick it, but knocked over by Olivia McPherson. Now Kira McPherson. Tough defense again from the Cougars. So the Eagles going to get their 7th corner kick of the afternoon. Their 2nd corner kick in the 2nd half. And Ybarra will do the honors for Benedictine. That's in play. Olivia McPherson. That's over to Sanchez. And now Curtis, who's standing over on the far side of the pitch. So we're going to get a goal kick from Alani Burnell as a substitution made for the Cougars. Itzel Calderon comes in for Denise Carr, as well as Luciana Moran Cruz in for Lucia Falone. And for the Eagles, Emma Evans comes in for Nikki Guzman. So both teams making some substitutions as the Eagles in the final third, just over on the far sideline. Cougars are able to get a stop. A throw in from Wilkinson McQuaid. Rears the ball back, throws it in. Saldivar up in the air. Header from Calderon, now trying to track it down is Moran Cruz. Now throw in from Fernandez. Now under 20 minutes to play in regulation. Addison Alexander able to get a foot on it. She's tripped up, and she also trips up an Eagle. Cougars forced to play outside now as Bowers tries to track it, but it's corralled by Olivia McPherson. She's battling with Bowers on the far sideline. Throw in from Wilkinson McQuaid. That's into Fernandez. Taken away by the Eagles. Eagles go right back on offense. Quick possession for the Cougars. Bowers just sends that one over to the far sideline, but it's corralled, maintained by Olivia McPherson. Now McPherson to conduct the throw in. That's thrown into Mondragon. And now McPherson working against Addison Alexander. Excuse me, that's Grace Gladowski. Good play by Saldivar, who takes a tumble, and she's down on the turf. As a couple of CUC athletic trainers are going to sprint out onto the field. Go ahead and take a quick pause and the action. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network.
We appreciate you tuning into today's game.
To stay up to date on all things CUC women's soccer, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUCWSOC.
We'll see you on campus soon.
As we're back, as we'll resume the second half, as Pamela Saldivar took a hard fall to the turf, was down on the ground for a little bit, was helped off of the field by the CUC athletic training staff. So now we've seen a couple injuries for the Cougars, and gotta hope that those players are all right. And now Lucia Falone will enter the game in place of Pamela Saldivar, who was just subbed out not too long ago, but she gets a quick breather, and now she's back on the field. Now Maron Cruz. She's able to handle that one. Nice footwork by her. Gets it into Falone, who's tripped up by Emma Evans. Now Falone a little slow to get up. So a very physical game between both sides. We've seen several players go down, but Falone is just able to walk it off. A good sign if you're the Cougars. Now we're going to get the throw in from Gladowski. It's handled by Falone, who gets it over to Gladowski. Couple whistles blown. Possession will stay with the Cougars. As there was a foul on Benedictine's Kea Drager. Now the free kick awarded. Megan Wilkinson McQuaid. So an opportunity right here for the Cougars. Let's see if they're able to capitalize. Wilkinson McQuaid approaches. Header from Gladowski. Fernandez tries to get to the ball. Not able to get to it in time. Another throw in from Gladowski. That's in Maron Cruz. And Proc now going to get the stop. She halts any momentum that CUC had on offense. Now that is just going to bounce towards the Eagles bench. Cougars going to go right back on offense. It's Kenworthy. Header from Alexander. Now Maron Cruz. Dribbles past a couple Eagles. Looked like she had Brown right beside her, just not able to get to it as she had a couple Eagle defenders on her. And now Knudsen. Falone. Tries to get it to Itzel Calderon. Calderon a little slow to get up as well. She's able to walk/jog it off. Now, well under 15 minutes to go. Free kick. Again awarded to the Cougars, and as always, it is Megan Wilkinson McQuaid as the foul was on Emma Evans. And now Lucia Falone. Couple whistles blown. Looks like we'll get a foul on the Eagles. And a yellow card going to be awarded to Benedictine. We'll get you the specific player it was given to here in a second. So a free kick, again by Wilkinson McQuaid. So I'm sorry, the yellow card was awarded to CUC's Allie Brown for unsporting, so that's now the second yellow card on the Cougars. This one was given to Allie Brown here in the second, most recent one. The first yellow card was given to Jalissa Diaz back in the first half. So now we're going to get a throw in from Gladowski. So now Denise Carr is going to enter back into the match in place for Itzel Calderon. Tries to get it to Maron Cruz. It's back out to Falone. That shot off target and to the left of the goal. Proc now tried to get the diving save, but way past her fingertips. Didn't really have to worry as the shot was off target. So now we're going to get another goal kick from Catherine Proc now. Header from Gladowski. Lucia Falone tries to get to it. Now the Eagles with a potential opportunity, but that's taken away by Alani Burnell. Cougars have been on the Eagles side of the field, so Burnell hasn't had to do as much work here in the second half. Burnell has not recorded a save. She hasn't had to worry because the Eagles have only attempted one shot here in this second half. We see that they attempted 5 in the first. And that lone shot was off target, so not a shot on goal. Got to give credit to the Cougars defense. here. I mean, they played solid throughout the entire game, only allowing that one goal. But since then, it's been lights out. Both defenses playing pretty well, I would say. It's been a tightly contested defensive affair. Not a lot of offense going on. As the Eagles are going to get another crack on offense. That's into Knudsen. And now the Cougars trying to get a clear out. Eagles in that final third haven't been in that zone a lot here in the first half. Burnell is going to get the save as she goes upstairs for that one. So Burnell going to record her first save of the second half. That now brings her total to 4, which leads the match. While her counterpart, Catherine Brock, now only with 3 saves. That shot was attempted by Cara McPherson. Angled towards the top left of the net, but like I said, Alani went upstairs to record that save. Haven't seen as many substitutions for the Cougars in the second half as we were used to seeing in the first. 2 notable players that we have not seen yet in the second half. Number 21, Juliana Paulson, as well as number 7, Jamie Seibert. 2 players who have been really solid for the Cougars offensively. Seibert leads the team with 16 shots, 13 shots on goal. And both her and Paulson both have 2 goals, which is also a team high. Both players also have 1 game-winning kick this year. So both of those players, it's interesting that we have not seen them yet in the second half. I think Coach Garza is more focused on the defensive side of things because this has been mostly a defensive game, and we mentioned Paulson and Seibert, 2 of the better offensive players for the Cougars, if not the best. Now a throw in from Gladowski into Moran Cruz. Cruz working with it. Has Laura on her backside. Now 7 minutes 45 seconds remaining. Eagles still with their 1-0 lead. Drager misses the header, but Cara McPherson gets past Itzel Calderon for a second, but goes out of bounds. So now a throw in from McPherson, tries to get it into Knudsen. Bowers is able to handle it. And now Kenworthy going to try to get it to Brown. Now Gladowski is on Drager. It's going to go out of bounds, so Cougars going to get another chance on offense. And now we're going to see Juliana Paulson, who we were just talking about. She'll enter into the match. First time we've seen her in the second half. She'll replace Gladowski, and Paulson will conduct the throw-in. So now Knudsen will send it, but intercepted by Kenworthy. That pass from Calderon looked like it was targeted for Paulson. He's playing on that outside attack. And now Knudsen tries to get it inside. Calderon's going to get the clear out looking for Moran Cruz, who's able to handle it. She gets past Evans. And now Brown. Cougars have a little bit of momentum on offense as they were able to go right down the length of the pitch. However, Proc now going to come out of goal and will halt the Cougars offense. Brown gets it over to Bowers, deflected off Knudsen. And now Knudsen playing a little 3-on-1. She's knocked over. I believe that was by Hannah Bowers. Knudsen helped onto her feet by the on-field official. Exactly 5 minutes to go here in regulation. Cougars don't have as much leeway now. They need a goal, and they need it soon. Now Burnell is going to send this one deep, looking for Valeria Fernandez. That's sent back out. Kenworthy misses the header. Now Knudsen with the shot. Goes right over the goal. Had a high arc on that shot. Now Burnell with the goal kick. Cougars have 4 minutes to get a goal to tie this one up. It's deflected off of Drager. So Bowers going to throw this one in. Tries to get it into Moran Cruz. Time still winding down. So we're going to get a throw in from Cara McPherson. McPherson sends it over. That's handled by Wilkinson McQuaid, who is backed up deep. Tries to get that one. Denise Carr, the closest Cougar in the area, but it's just going to go out of bounds. 3 minutes remaining. If you're the Cougars, you've got to get a goal. Try to tie this one up. Moran Cruz. Good defense as it's poked away by Laura. Calderon working against McPherson. Trying to handle it is Wilkinson McQuaid. She's able to just for a split second. But the Eagles going to go right back on offense. 2:30 remaining in regulation. Calderon tries to get it to Denise Carr. It's passed up the field, but cleared out by Prochnow. And now Knudsen, in that final third, gets it out to Cara McPherson, guarded by Kenworthy. That one's just kicked out of bounds by Wilkinson McQuaid. Under 2 minutes to go here in River Forest. If you're the Cougars, you got to march down the length of the pitch, but first got to get the stop, as Benedictine is going to get their 8th corner kick opportunity, and Ybarra going to do the honors. Ybarra, hand in the air, approaches the ball, sends it into a cluster of players, ultimately goes over the head of a couple of her teammates and out of bounds. Benue going to stay on offense. They know time is on their side, so just trying to drain as much clock as humanly possible. And Itzel Calderon creates an opportunity potentially for the Cougars, but it's handled by Benedictine. But Denise Carr playing tough defense was Ybarra. And now 45 seconds. Cougars got to get going. They don't have that sense of urgency. So Wilkinson McQuaid, ball placed on the pitch. That kick into a cluster of players. Bowers handles it, trying to get it to Calderon. Taken away by the Eagles. Now Wilkinson McQuaid, deep pass. Paulson, and a goal for the Cougars! The Cougars get on the board. 11 seconds remaining in the second half, and they tie things up here in River Forest. Prochnow came out a goal, and the ball just rolled right into the back of the net. The Cougars just flooded into the final pitch and ultimately ended in their favor. They're going to award the goal to Juliana Paulson, who came in with 6 minutes remaining in the second half and instantly makes an impact. They're going to award the assist to Megan Wilkinson McQuaid. Juliana Paulson gets her third goal of the season, which leads the team, and the Cougars tie the Eagles 1-1 in River Forest. They snap their 6-game losing streak to move to 2-10-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Eagles move to 4-7-3. So once again, the Cougars tie with the Eagles 1-1. One more time, going to take a look at the box score. First for the keepers, Catherine Prochnow, 3 saves, 1 goal allowed, played the entire 90 minutes. Alani Burnell, 4 saves, 1 goal allowed in her 90 minutes of play as well. So very similar statistics from both of the keepers. And both teams recorded 9 shots on the afternoon, 5 shots on goal from the Eagles, 4 shots on goal from the Cougars. One of the key differences are those corner kick opportunities. The Eagles were gifted 8 while the Cougars only had 3. So it proved to be a primarily defensive game as both teams were held to single-digit shots in this game. Real quick look ahead for both sides. First for Benedictine University. They are back at home on Saturday as they will host Marian University in another conference matchup. And for the Cougars, after today, they are back at home on Saturday, so won't travel far as they'll host Concordia University, Wisconsin. It is senior day, so a very exciting time for this Cougars women's soccer team as they tie with the Eagles 1-1. Real quick, want to give a shout out to our student workers who were able to make the broadcast possible. Working our camera is Amaya Martin and Juwan Woodley. Our producer Cindy Lloyd. Down on the table is Wyatt McLaughlin. Our public address announcer Chandler Kerr, as well as our student photographer Peter Borkowski. We are under the direction of Cindy Palaskis-Lawher and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. As for me, Parker Kelly, signing off from the Cougar Sports Network. Wanted to wish you all a great rest of your day. Wanted to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.